Okay. I guess we'll get started then. Um, Hello everyone. Thank you for coming to the Panther to Panther Food and Fun webinar. We'll start out by introducing ourselves. My name is Mark. I'm a rising junior at Pitt studying Chinese and economics. And with me is
Vicky.
Hi, I'm Vicky. Hi, I'm Vicky. I'm a rising junior as well. I'm a nursing student, and along with us is.
Hey everybody, I'm Brendan. I'm a rising junior as well. I'm studying chemical engineering with a minor in mechanical engineering, and I'm from just outside of Philly. And finally, we have Nicole.
Yeah, hi, I'm Nicole. I'm a rising senior. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, and I study linguistics and Korean.
and for everyone, if you could just type your names in the chat and what majors you intend to have when you come to Pitt and what you're most excited for.
And if you don't know your major, don't worry, just make something up. Don't say undecided, that's not fun. Say like astronaut or something.
Cool. All right. Why don't we get started then? So we're going to be talking about, as you know, food and fun from all over Pittsburgh. We're going to start with things closer to campus and within Oakland, which is the area the school is at, and then we're going to talk about places a little further out throughout the city of Pittsburgh. So why don't we start with RA events? So as you guys might already know, when you start moving into the dorms, each of you are going to have an RA for your floor. The RA is kind of like a person, like an upperclassman who's going to be living with you just to keep the peace and just make sure everyone's living okay and any problems, you have a place to go to and a person to go to. Like that. Huh? So yeah, but also from time to time they will also host events. A lot of the cool events they have things like pizza parties from board games to movie nights, all kinds of things. For me personally, there was one time where I went with one of my friends in my hall. We had to play a thing called a game triathlon while we're on the topic of the games. We played 3 GameCube games to win a prize of $10 worth of candy, and we just tried our friends. It's a great time to really get to know people on your floor, fellow freshmen just like you, or people throughout your hall. So I recommend you try it out.
Yeah, so going off of that, I agree with Mark. Getting to know the people on your hall is one of the most fun things you can do as a freshman. And so like when I was coming into college, I didn't really know what people did for fun. Like you have all this free time on the weekends and stuff, and I just figured people partied all the time, but I'm not really like into that. So I was wondering, what am I gonna do? And so this is what I would do. I would do dumb things, make a restaurant in one of my friend's rooms for a first date of my roommate. So my roommate wanted to ask this girl out, and we figured we got to make this special. It's the first date, you know? What's the most memorable thing that you could possibly do? Have dinner in Toby's room. So we made a whole Italian restaurant complete with Chef Boyardee. We all dressed up like waiters. I made a menu. And just sort of dumb stuff like that. Like these are all just people I met on my floor in the first couple of weeks of school. We're all engineers because I lived in Ford's Hall, which is like the engineering hall. But we all just sort of connected and just did dumb stuff like this all the time. I made an escape room in my bathroom at one point in the year. So would definitely recommend you to just like keep your doors open. I know with the coronavirus, I don't know exactly what the dorm situation is going to be, how open and stuff you're going to be allowed to, I guess, meet people. But definitely like take advantage of just meeting the people around you as much as you can.
So next we're going to talk about food on campus. This is the food that you could use your meal swipes for. So in your meal plan, here there's like the 2 big ones, which are Market Central and the Perch. So they might look like they're not that far apart on the map, but in reality, between them, there's a huge hill that is called Cardiac Hill for a very good reason. So it's incredibly steep and it's hard to get up there. So just keep that in mind while we start talking about the food. Market Central is on lower campus, so near the Cathedral of Learning and the towers. This is like the main eatery for the campus because a lot of people live in towers and more closer to lower campus. But then the Perch is for people that would live in like Sutherland or have classes up there. So we're going to talk about the benefits and what I think are some downfalls. I know it's a hot topic, so people have different perspectives. Um, so with Market, it's on lower campus. It's much larger than the Perch. And my personally favorite thing is the stir fry there, to really eat vegetables, like especially just to be healthy or whatever. So stir fry was the best way. And then with the Perch, it's on upper campus. It is smaller. They have Taco Tuesdays. They don't have as wide of a selection of food, but I personally think that they were higher quality food. I know that that's also a hot topic. Brendan highly disagrees with me, but
No, I lived on upper campus last year, and everybody was like, "Oh, Perch is gonna be way better." Perch only has one thing, so if you don't like the one thing there, then it's not worth it. I mean, it's still like decent, but like mark it every time. Don't listen to the Perch people.
I disagree. So what I highly recommend is you go up to the Perch at least once to try it and see what you think. I think the best time to go to the Perch would be during Thanksgiving, in which they have like this huge meal, which that's probably the best food that you're going to get at the Perch, which is definitely better than Market. But so for Market, here is the picture of my stir fry. I personally really like it. They make it for you right there on the spot, and you can choose tofu, chicken. Sometimes they have like noodles and rice, and just there's a lot of different options with it. You can customize it yourself. And then I don't know what it is about their soft serve, but their soft serve just hits a spot. It's one of those things that you never know you're craving until you have it, and then you will like want it every day. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it happens. And I know I'm not the only one with that sentiment. So yeah, I recommend their soft serve as well. This is for Market. So
They have non-dairy options too, which is awesome for me because I can't have dairy, so still recommend. Yeah, so then one of my favorite spots on campus is a place called Chicken Bubbly. It has Korean fried chicken and bubble tea. It's like right next to Tower, so it's definitely easy to just go for like a quick lunch or whatever. It has a decent price, especially the bubble tea. It's like pretty cheap for bubble tea. Granted, it's like debated on like the quality of the bubble tea. I think it's fine, but other people are like highly against it. But I mostly go for the chicken. So I'll go like at least once a week with my friend to get this chicken. You can like pick your sauce. They have sides too, like fries and everything if you want something a little more filling. But highly recommend Chicken Bubbly.
Okay. If you're not into chicken or bubbly, then I would suggest going to this place called Nordy's Place. This is a little area in the basement of the William Pitt Union, or WPU as we usually call it. It's like the big hub of a lot of things happen on the William Pitt Union. You'll definitely hear about it when you get to campus. But in the basement they have lots of food and fun places. Talking about the food, they have a lot of things that are familiar and unfamiliar as well. As you can see, for some of the familiar things, they have Pizza Hut and Taco Bell, which are pretty popular. And Sub Connection, not exactly the most familiar sub place ever, but they do serve sandwiches. So if you're ever feeling a craving for that, a good place to try. Also, I should mention with all these, you can use your dining dollars. I recommend using dining dollars for these because these are the places they really want you to use them. So, good chance to use those. If you're looking for something unfamiliar, though, there is this place called Auditions that's also in the area. They usually serve things from around the world and all kinds of things as well. I remember last semester, they served us like Chinese bao, as you can see right there, and it was pretty good. And something I've tried it before because I'm a Chinese major, but still, it was a great experience to have something so close to home. So I really recommend if you want to try something new, that's the place you should go. Now, in terms of the fun part of Nordy's, they have another section that has a whole like lounge area. It's a place you can. They have a lot of chairs and like lounge chairs you can sit and hang out with your friends or just study if you want to. If you're there to have some fun, you can also. They also have things like foosball, ping pong, or table tennis, and a pool table. All these things require your Pitt ID because they want you to like, make sure you're not losing the stuff. But as long as you have that, you should be all good. In addition to that as well, there's usually a lot of events that take place from clubs and other things. I've seen like speeches from like spoken word from some student organizations to so many other things too. Sometimes I've even seen them play Mario Kart Wii there, and that was a lot of fun. So it would be a good chance to check it out. They also have snacks in there too. I don't know if you can use dining dollars for that. You might need to use real money, but if you're interested in things like ices or popcorn or things like that nature, something to worth checking out. So yeah.
So next we've got Roots. This place is not included in a meal plan. It's outside of, it's still in Oakland, but it's not associated to the school. It's a really good salad bowl place. It's incredibly delicious. It like opened very recently, not that long ago, but it's been packed ever since it opened, basically. It's always busy. There's like so many different options. I personally am, again, not a huge vegetable person, so I don't ask for like extra leafy greens. I ask more for like extra mushrooms and rice and cheese. But if you want to stay on the healthier side, you can always ask for extra leafy greens. It's a healthier option out there. It can get a little bit pricey. Bowls range from around $8 to $11, and then if you add anything extra as well. But the portions are huge, so they definitely last me more than one meal. So I definitely recommend going there if you want to like pick up a salad or something. You're just feeling it for the day, and it's just so good. I like really miss it actually being home. So yeah.
All right, before I talk about other places in Oakland, I just wanted to quickly mention if you have any questions throughout this entire thing, we will be having like a Q&A section at the end. So if you think of them, just like write them down or something, you put them in the chat, and then we'll get to them at the end. But going back to my slides, there's a lot of Asian food places in Oakland, you'll notice. So you can see in that picture, Chicken Bubbly that Nicole mentioned earlier, but there's also Wishi Bento, Szechuan Express, Chicken Grill, and the Japanese Noodle House, as well as many, many others. And so at the beginning of my freshman year, a bunch of my friends that I mentioned earlier and I decided that we were going to make it our mission to try like every single Asian place in Oakland. And so we made a tradition that every Sunday we would go to a different place, try to figure out what the best one was. And so there's a lot of really good ones. Japanese Noodle House is really good in particular. But if you go to the next slide, my current winner is Bengal Kebab in South Oakland. This place is a little bit, it's not like immediately on campus, but it's like 2 blocks just off campus. It looks like it's just like somebody's house, like this little hole in the wall place. You go inside, there's like nobody ever there, but it's like super nice inside. The food is super good. The people there are so nice. They gave us free tapioca pudding one time just for going there. But it was super good, and their kebabs are really good. So would definitely recommend just exploring all the food around Oakland. But if you're looking for like a hidden gem, Bengal Kebab is my recommendation.
Yeah, so then just moving a little further off campus, for something fun to do, just to like relax and take a break from studying for that test that you're trying to avoid, I would recommend Panther Hollow Trails. So this is just like these trails that are in Oakland. It's just like you cross the bridge at the end of campus, then you can enter. See, it has like this giant pond down there. I notice a lot of people are taking advantage of it now that we're like during the pandemic, just like a place to like relax outside with friends. I come here all the time with my friends. We go on like hikes, so on all these nice trails, take pictures. Yeah, so you can definitely take advantage of it. I'd say like beginning of fall term and like end of spring term, the weather's good for it.
Yeah, so after you've done your hiking and you really getting started to get hungry, and I know the first thing on your mind must be, where can I find some good hot chicken? Well, I have the answer for you. Chicken is a nice a new restaurant that's on Forbes, and by new I mean it literally came in when us rising juniors were freshmen, I think second semester. So it's very very fresh for us, and a really great new take on Pittsburgh kind of food. It is what it sounds like. It's hot chicken. They have different hot like spice levels from like medium to like really 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 hot. Um, it's pretty affordable too, around like nine to $12 per meal. They have all kinds of stuff from like sandwiches to tenders, chicken and waffles. It's very very good. If you're not too much into spice, I would recommend getting mild or medium. Anything past that is a bit torturous. But if you like that kind of stuff, it's great. It's a really good bonding time with friends, as Brendan would say. So you should try to check it out. It's really nice.
Yeah, get the level 5 chicken with some buddies and see who cries first. It's a great time.
If you're not into chicken though, there's a great noodle place outside of Oakland, and a place called Squirrel Hill. It's called Everyday Noodles. It's very famous for its Taiwanese style cooking. As you can see, the noodles are made every day, made fresh every day by hand. They have all kinds of wonderful noodle dishes. They have other things too, from soup dumplings to whatever that is. I forgot what it was. They also have bao as well. Very good bao, if I do say so myself. I went there once freshman year with like a class, and it was one of the best food experiences I've had in Pittsburgh. So I definitely recommend that you try.
Also in Squirrel Hill, well, Squirrel Hill is mostly restaurants and cafes. But they also do have a few really interesting stores. Two of my favorite are Avalon Exchange and 10,000 Villages. So Avalon Exchange is like a high quality secondhand clothing store. It has pretty unique items. So you can buy, sell, and trade your clothes there. You can also just like go to just like look around. That's what I would usually do. But their prices are decent, especially since a lot of the items are like designer items. Um, then actually a few doors down from that, we have 10,000 Villages, which have like fair trade, handmade items from all around the world. I'm pretty sure the profits go to the makers of the items. And it's definitely a good place to go if you're trying to find like gifts for someone or just like novelty items. It is a little bit expensive, but I think just for like the types of items they are, it's like decent and worth it. The clothes I wouldn't go for. I guess if that's like your style and you wanted something like unique like that, you can go for it. But yeah, it's also another place just to like go in and look around. It's always interesting.
And next we've got Benedum Theater. I personally love theater. I love Broadway, I love opera, I love ballet, I love a lot of things. But with Benedum Theater, it's the kind of local theater for these shows. It's in Pittsburgh's cultural district, and it's got like 2,800 seats. So it's actually pretty big inside. And it's just, I don't know, I always love going out to like events like these because you get to like dress up nice and just go out, watch a good show, hear some good live music. And I think it's a beautiful experience. I personally went to go see Phantom of the Opera, and you can see my playbill there. And then this is what it looks like on the inside. I can remember that when I went up there in the higher seats to go sit down, I did feel like I was going to fall because it's pretty steep, but you're not going to fall. It's just the effect. So don't worry about that. I'm a little bit scared of heights, so that might also just been like my psychological self, like shouting at me. But yeah, then these are a couple shows that I saw that were coming up. I have no idea how things are going to work out with coronavirus, but this was on their like website and it was updated. So I'm assuming that those are still going to go on. Sadly, none of them are going to be happening actually when we have classes, but if you live in Pittsburgh, hey, you can try going to these, or if you're going to stay there during the holidays. Another good thing is that with your Pitt ID, actually, if you go onto the website and order the tickets and use, there's like a specific that Pitt has for their students, you can get up to like 20% off for a ticket, and it's really nice.
Yeah, seeing shows is definitely a fun thing. I went to see Book of Mormon and Cats with some of my friends at different times. And definitely, like, you dress up, you feel very fancy going to that. But on the other side of pretending to be fancy, you can go square dancing and do other silly things. And so, because me and my friends like to look around, look around Pittsburgh for more unusual things to do, and square dancing was one of them that we found that just seemed silly and kind of fun. And so we went, and that's actually my friend's sister was visiting, and we made her come. And so we went square dancing in Bloomfield, which is another neighborhood just north of Pittsburgh, if you want to go to the next slide. And so one of the best things about Pittsburgh is that you have free buses to get around, so you can get to Squirrel Hill and downtown really easily. But it's also a very walkable city. So me and my friends actually walked up to Bloomfield from campus, which is, you can see where Forbes Hall and that little blue dot are. That's like where campus is. So we walked over to Bloomfield, and it was really nice. And we just had a lot of fun sort of dancing around doing silly stuff. So this list that we've given you of food and fun things to do in Pittsburgh is certainly not exhaustive. And I would definitely recommend just like checking out all the other neighborhoods of Pittsburgh and using that Pitt ID to go to take the bus all over the place and check out different things.
Yeah, and I think we actually have a pamphlet that we'll send in the chat in a bit here, just so you can have like a more exhaustive list than what we've said. But just to go over, yeah, just some of the perks you get with the Pitt ID. You can actually get free admission or discounted admission to a lot of cool places. One of them is Carnegie Museum of Art and Natural History, which is right on the edge of campus between Pitt and CMU. So you can go there for free. I'm pretty sure. I think it's all year round, but definitely during the school year it's free. You might have to go there for like a school assignment, like I did. But there's also the Carnegie Science Center, which I believe you get discounted admission to. There's this really interesting art exhibit at the Mattress Factory, which I haven't gone to, but I've seen pictures. It's like very Instagram worthy. It's really strange. And then right off campus in Oakland, we have Pitt's Conservatory, which is like a giant greenhouse. It looks like a jungle inside. They have like different shows throughout the year. Some people have like weddings there because it's so beautiful. There's also Heinz History Center, which has a local Pittsburgh history. And then Soldier and Sailors Memorial Hall is right on campus. It has like war history. And then there's also the Andy Warhol Museum, which is close by. Another really cool Instagram worthy place that I have yet to go, but I'm definitely going to go soon. I believe that's also free or discounted admission. And you can get to all these places on the bus. You just have to like tap your Pitt ID and you have free admission on the bus as well. So.
All right, so that concludes like our structured program. But now we're just going to go into like some Q&A. We have plenty of other stories that we didn't share. So we're happy to answer any of your questions and just sort of talk about what you guys want to talk about.
Yeah. So I saw that Kayla had asked about plant-based options at nearby restaurants and at dining halls. So I don't know much about outside restaurant, like nearby restaurants outside of campus, but I know that in Market Central, for example, there's a whole section that's vegan food and just vegetarian or just really like plant-based options. In the dining halls, they're pretty good about having a wide variety of options in that sense. So there's definitely food to be eaten everywhere you go. I just don't know much about the nearby restaurants though, if someone else.
I think I do, because like I try to be plant-based, but I like chicken, so that fails. But I'd say a lot of the restaurants you can find like a decent amount of like vegan and plant-based options, just from like different sushi restaurants to I think Roots also is a pretty decent option, just because like you don't have to get like chicken or something on there. You can like swap it out for tofu or just like more like just like other protein like beans and everything. So I think you would be able to like survive pretty easily on like a plant-based diet in Pittsburgh. I think we're pretty diverse in that way. So.
Yeah, I went vegetarian for Lent this year, and I did survive. I'm not normally a vegetarian, but so eating in the dining halls and stuff, it wasn't. Your options are obviously limited, but they do have a lot of good choices. And then, like we mentioned, Roots, but there's JJ Poke, which is a poke bowl place right off of campus. They have street carts that are really good too, that I believe have a lot of vegetarian options. And so you can definitely, if you're a vegetarian or you're thinking about trying that, you can definitely make it work at college. Don't feel constricted by dining hall food.
And there's also a place called there's also a place called Hello Bistro as well. That as well as JG Poke are both on Forbes, so they're really close to campus. But Hello Bistro is another like popular salad place that people go to. They give you pretty large portions, so you definitely won't go hungry. But that's just another option for you. So.
For sure.
Another thing to know, regardless of whether you're vegetarian or not, is next to Market, there's a place called Market to Go, which is like a little convenience store that you can use dining dollars at. And so you can get like mac and cheese and like chili and ramen and stuff there, and like all your like college microwavable essentials. And so I know, especially freshman year, that was like always a go-to. When I didn't want to spend real money, I could spend like dining dollar money and just get like snacks and stuff to pop in the microwave later.
They also have a lot of ready-to-go meals as well. I'm not sure we mentioned that, but they have like things from like sushi to burgers, chicken, sandwich. They have sandwiches. They have like a combo meal in Market to Go. Where you can get like a sandwich and like a fruit or something and a drink, like a water, all for like a meal swipe, and things like that. So it's definitely a good place to go if you just need some food and you're on the run. So, and there's also a version in Sutherland too called Quick Zone if you don't want to go down the hill. So, yeah.
Oh, they also added like kind of like a mini restaurant within Market to Go, right? It was like Salem's or whatever. I remember they added it last semester, and there was like always a line for it because it was so good. It would be like it would have like curry or like I don't know. It was like different every day, but it was so good. Like it was just like better than like your. 'Cause I guess we're just so used to just getting like the to-go burgers and like chicken and stuff. So just like a nice change of pace. But,
I got their chicken masala, I think.
Yeah,
It was
Salim's is
really
a.
good.
I'm pretty sure Salim's is like a restaurant within Pittsburgh, but they work with Pittsburgh with Pitt now so that they can give us food during lunchtime. So yeah, there's also kosher food too.
Mm.
There's also an option for these. Both those options are used for meal slice if you want to, which is a great option.
They really beefed up Market since we got there. Like you
Yeah.
guys are going in, it's gonna be so much better. Like they added a halal place in Market that's just like chef's kiss. Like it's so good. It's so much better than like the burgers and stuff. Now like the stir fry and stuff is really good too. That's like a staple. But if you can get the halal, especially for lunch, would recommend.
All right. Any more questions? If any come up during the announcements, you're also welcome to add them to the chat and we'll answer them after we're done with
Oh,
our
I have a
announcements.
question.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yes.
Are there any like good pho restaurants? Because I really like Vietnamese food.
I know
I have heard
one
of
in Squirrel. Oh, is it the one in Squirrel Hill or is it?
Yeah.
There's one in Squirrel Hill that's really good. I mean, I haven't had pho that often, so like I don't know if I have like a good like base to like jump off of, but I know that was a pretty decent place and it wasn't like super expensive. So I forget what it was called. It was like Top Bien or something. But
I remember it was mentioned to me once. Oh, there you go. So it's in the chat. There you go. Really, I've heard good things and I've been wanting to go for a very long time, but cannot now. But yeah, man.
oh, yeah,
Tramp
like,
Kitchen as well.
I should try it.
I
Yeah.
don't know about pho. There's a lot of really good there's Nikki's Thai in downtown though, which is really good. Not Vietnamese, but that's another one that I didn't mention. But like if you want to go a little bit fancier and you want some really good Thai food, we went to that and then to a baseball game because you can just walk across the bridge and Pirate Stadium is beautiful. You get like an awesome view of it's sort of like my virtual background actually. You get an awesome view of the city across the water. And so definitely would recommend going downtown, exploring some new places there.
There's so many like small businesses and just like these like family-owned restaurants in Pittsburgh, and I think that's why it's like so fun to just like go explore and find interesting food because it's just like there's everything.
Yeah. I'm gonna send the flyer full of places that we've been to or that we recommend and know are good. So I'm gonna send this flyer out in the chat. I promise you it has no viruses, so don't be worried about downloading it. But yeah, all right, it's being sent out right now. And if you guys, again, any more questions pop up, just put them up in the chat, but I think we're gonna move on to announcements.
So I just want to mention to you, on Forbes there's a street called Atwood. It's in South Oakland, which is not always the safest place at night, so just keep that in mind. But they do have a lot of restaurants down that area. Some of those being a place called Intunes and Sorrento's. Both those places have really cheap pizzas, so really cheap cheese pizzas. I think Intunes is $6 and Sorrento's is $7. So keep that in mind if you want something cheap. There's also things like a place called Sichuan Gourmet, which is like a nice sit-down Chinese restaurant. What is it? And also Las Palmas, which has like fresh tacos. So just something to keep in mind.
You will not go hungry in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, all right.
I'll show the
All right. Okay, so for announcements, just want to mention we're having a Zoom meeting for this thing called Multiplier Talent. It's like where some of the staff we have, they will teach us like some new skills every Friday for a few weeks. Last time when we did a lot of fun things. I learned how to play guitar, which was really fun. Some of us learned cooking, and some other things too. I think this time it's things like making music. What are the other ones?
Oh, there's like I think there's dorm hacks. and then there's how to impress people, which I think might have like magic tricks or something
Yeah, like
in it.
card tricks and juggling and stuff.
Yeah,
We
and then
actually
there's also,
have a video about it that we can show.
yeah, so we do some,
We
like,
definitely did, yeah.
All right, hold on.
Uh,
Mhm.
trying to announce this. Oh, yeah.
All right. Mm.
We just started MYT, Multiply Your Talents. We figured since people are at home, why not make the most use of the time by picking up a new skill or two? These are free weekly workshops taught by some of our resident experts. Each Friday, we've been learning about cooking, playing guitar, photography, even building your own website with HTML and CSS. So far, it's been a lot of fun working together towards something, and I'm really excited to see people start putting these new skills to use.
Come join us.
Come and join us
Come join us for
for
MYT.
MYT.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So yeah, really fun stuff.
Yeah, so if you want to meet some other fellow freshmen and get to know us a little bit better, I did web design MYT like 2 weeks ago. Really excited for this upcoming one. So if that sounds like something you're interested in. You have Fridays open during this quarantine. It's definitely a fun thing to do for a couple weeks.
Yeah. So the other notes that we had too, we talked about online hangouts. So it's just like a time that we set aside just to play some games with each other and just get to know each other, online. It's a good time, and if you're looking just like for a time on Monday, Monday, I just like hang out with people and enjoy some good company. I recommend it. We're gonna have our next one on the 13th, so make sure to check out for that. If you guys ever have any more questions or just want to get in contact with us about anything, we have first there's the Facebook for Panther the Panther and Instagram too. Follow that if you want to have more updates. But also, as you can see, you have all of our emails in here, so feel free to email us about any questions you might have, and we'll be happy to answer them. So, yeah, thank you all for coming out. If you guys have any questions now, you'll also feel free to ask. If not, thank you so much.
Yeah, I think the sign up for Multiply Your Talents is in the chat as well. So if you can click on that to go ahead and sign up. We also have our Facebook group to stay in touch. So thank you guys so much.